Hello guys, welcome back to yet another in-depth review of OnePlus 11 running OxygenOS 14.1. Few days back, we created a community post asking you guys on which all topic we need to focus more, and we got the maximum votes on the battery segment. So we'll talk about the battery segment also. First of all, here you can see this is my OnePlus 11. I've been using this device as my primary phone since few days, which is running OxygenOS 14.1. Though in about section it do says 14.0, but if you extract the file of the latest update, it says 14.1. So let me show you that. Here is the extracted file, and here you can see OS version is 14.1. And at last I'll also answer your questions which you guys have asked on our community post. And guys, now before moving ahead, if you guys find our content useful to you guys, then make sure to smash the like button and also consider subscribing to our channel. Before starting with the review, let me tell you a few things guys which I forgot to mention in the previous video. So one change which I did not mention in the update video, that was layer 2 torch quick setting tile. So now on OnePlus you can adjust the torch intensity on your OnePlus 11. This have been added after the latest update. And another thing which I did not mention, and that was layer 2 screen recording. So if you open the screen recording settings, now under frame rate we do have an option of 120 FPS. Previously which was restricted to 60 and 30 FPS. So these two things were also added with the latest update. So as we got maximum votes for battery segment, I do have all the screenshots of the SOT what I have been getting. First thing which I would like to mention, one weird thing which I noticed on this device after updating to the latest build, and that's layer 2 battery health. Before updating, the battery health was 95%. I'm not sure whether it's a coincidence or something else, but soon I updated my device, the battery health had dropped to 94%. You guys let me know the battery health of your OnePlus 11 in the comment section. And I've also made a video on how to prevent aging of the battery health. Make sure to watch that video. So keeping the battery health in mind, I would say battery backup is quite good on my OnePlus 11. First, let me talk about the overnight battery drain. So overnight battery drain isn't bad on OnePlus 11. You can see I left my device idle at 11 PM. That time the battery percentage was 32%, and at around 2:30, after 3.5 hours, I only noticed 2% of battery drain. Second overnight battery drain, you can see I left the device idle at 1:17. That time percentage was 15%, and when I woke up at 6:30, that time the battery percentage was 13%. So as said, overnight battery drain is very minimal on OnePlus 11. Here is the first screen on time wherein I got 4 hours and 42 minutes of SOT with my regular usage, in which I generally use YouTube, Twitter, Telegram, Instagram, etc. With the second cycle, I got 5 hours and 16 minutes of screen on time, again with the same applications used. Here's another battery cycle wherein I got 5 hours and 20 minutes of screen on time. So on an average, battery backup is quite good on this build with basic usage. But when I only did gaming where I played BGMI after fully charging the device, with only BGMI 26% of battery was remaining, and the screen on time which I got was around 3 hours. So we can do continuous 3 hours of gaming with full charge on OnePlus 11. How is the battery backup of your OnePlus 11 after this latest build? Let me know in the comment section below. See, in general stability, I personally have not much of issues. There are few observations like device do gets heated up while charging and even with the normal usage. So this is one thing which I think OnePlus needs to fix, because it's not summers here in Bangalore and still this device heats up while charging and even with the regular usage. Another thing which I noticed on OnePlus 11, like that only happened for once and I wasn't able to record the video. Soon I picked up my device, that thing got sorted. That was layer 2 mistouch. I wasn't able to pull down the notification, or you can say the app drawer was getting stuck in between. Even if I was sliding my finger, the app drawer was slightly going towards the top side, but it automatically got fixed within few seconds. So I think that was a temporary bug. So in terms of general usage, this device performs quite well with the OxygenOS 14.1. Second highest votes were given to performance and gaming segment. So in terms of benchmarks, I personally don't see any kind of issues with OnePlus. They are impressive, but the only concern is related to CPU throttling, which I think OnePlus needs to fix. It's been a long time that all the OnePlus smartphones do throttle once we enable the high performance mode. For the performance test, we put the OnePlus 11 under a lot of pressure with two different games. We played 2 long sessions of BGMI, one with screen recording and one without, to see how the device handles intense gaming. The device do supports 90 FPS screen recording, so naturally we wanted to see how that impacts overall performance. First up, we played a few matches for about an hour without screen recording. During this time, OnePlus 11 performed really well, providing an average FPS of above 85 frames per second. You will notice some frame drops here and there, but the overall FPS was quite impressive. Without the screen recording, the device temperature remained manageable, peaking at around 43 degrees Celsius, which is acceptable for heavy gaming sessions. Next, we turned on the screen recording and we pushed the device further. gaming for about 94 minutes straight. This is where I noticed device struggling a bit. The average FPS dropped to 74 frames per second. If you look at the performance graph, you will see that certain points the device dropped to 60 frames per second, which impacted the overall frame rate. While the screen recording on, the device temperature reached a max of 45 degrees Celsius, while the OnePlus 11 still performed decently with screen recording. It's clear that additional load caused some throttling and slight dips in the performance. Now aside BGMI, we also tested Grid Autosports, which has some pretty intense graphics. Once again, OnePlus 11 delivered constant 59 frames per second during a testing, which is great. But as I mentioned earlier, the heating remains an issue. The performance is solid, but the heat buildup could definitely affect long-term gaming sessions. So without screen recording, OnePlus 11 performs really well in BGMI, keeping FPS above 85 and the temperature in check. But when we turned on the screen recording, you'll see a bit of performance dip with the average FPS of 74 and slightly higher temperature. The same can be said for other graphically intense games like Grid Autosports. Performance is solid, but the heating problem is still there. OnePlus, if you are watching, please look into optimizing this, because while the performance is good, the throttling and the heat are holding the device back from being truly great for gaming. And the minimum votes what we got, that was layer to camera. So personally, there is nothing changed in the camera. The camera performance remains same, but there was a slight upgrade in the camera app version. So we did click some photos. With no doubt, OnePlus 11 delivers great sharpness, textures such as surface of the cooking pot, the leaves of tree, and even the fine details on the Buddha statue are captured clearly. The focus is crisp, especially in the close-up, and the camera handles depth well, as seen in the mirror reflection shot. The colors are natural yet vibrant. The outdoor scenes such as rich green in trees and grass and the blue skies are well represented without being oversaturated. Flower arrangement colors remains balanced with no unnecessary boost, reflecting a natural look. In challenging lighting conditions, the OnePlus 11 handles highlights and shadows effectively. This is evident in the shots of the sky where the clouds retain texture without blowing out, and the shaded areas still preserve visible details even in bright scenes like roadside or building shots. The dynamic range keeps everything in balance. Indoor, the lighting is well handled with minimal noise under artificial light. The photo taken through the bike mirror showcases the camera ability to focus on creative compositions. OnePlus 11 also produces good details even with 5x zoom. Here are some of the photos which you can take a look. These were clicked with 1x, 2x and 5x. Let me know what you guys have to say about the clarity of 5x. Also, when we did check ultra-wide and 1x, we did not notice much of color shifting, which is a good sign. And before, when the device was launched, at that time we used to see a lot of color shifting, but that have been gradually taken care by OnePlus. Selfies are also sharp and well detailed with natural skin tones and vibrant colors. The camera handles outdoor lighting effectively, balancing the highlights and the shadows to keep the face well lit while maintaining details in the bright sky and the background. Portrait photos are sharp and vibrant with an excellent background blur, whether capturing human or a pet photo. The camera delivers detailed, focused shots with natural skin and fur tone. The dynamic range is well handled, balancing light in both indoor and outdoor conditions. Pet fur texture and the eyes are particularly well captured, adding a depth and life to the image. Overall, OnePlus 11 camera is quite impressive. So this update is quite good for OnePlus 11. Other than that, heating issues, everything is perfect on this latest build of OxygenOS 14.1. And now let me take few questions which you guys have asked related to OnePlus 11. Most of the questions are answered in this review video, but there are few questions which I'll answer them now. First one is related to AI features. So here guys, talking about AI features, currently we don't see much of AI features on OnePlus 11 other than this AI eraser. I've made a detailed video on AI features of OnePlus. I'll leave that video in the description. Make sure to check it out. Those AI features will be coming soon on OnePlus 11, either with the upcoming builds of OxygenOS 14.1 or OxygenOS 15.0 based on Android 15. And few questions are also related to green lines. Guys, we are not exactly sure what's causing those green line issues and other stuff. I've seen many people are still fooling around. You know, we have an application on Play Store which lets you create a green line. Here you can see I've also tweeted about it, and due to which most people who actually got the green line, brands are denying to replace the screen. So guys, do not use such tricks. And if you guys haven't followed me on Twitter, make sure to follow, because I keep updating all this stuff on daily basis on Twitter. Another user was saying that Hey Google feature is not working, but I personally tested. You can see right now here in the video, it perfectly works on my device. Initially it wasn't working for me also, but I had to retrain the voice and it started working with no issue. So if you are facing that issue, just go to the Google application, tap on the profile picture, go to settings, then Google Assistant, tap here on voice match, and from here retrain your voice model. Hopefully this should fix that issue. And the last comment was from one user who was saying system gestures are not working. So there are no as such issues on my particular unit. Try resetting your device if you haven't reset your device since long time, because on this current build there are no issues with the system navigation gestures. So guys, this was all about the latest build for OnePlus 11, which is OxygenOS 14.1. I hope I've covered all the aspects. If you guys still have any kind of questions, you can put your questions in the community post for tomorrow's Q&A video. As of now, only this much in this video. This is your friend Ashok signing out. See you guys in the next video.